Ahoy sailors, welcome back to another DIY video adventure here aboard good old SeaSprite. Yes, I know I promised to do regular updates. Yes, I know it's been a while. Why is that? Well, lots going on, lots of distractions, lots going on. Life tends to take over from time to time, and of course it's summertime here on the Chesapeake Bay and it's been pretty miserable. So it's been really challenging to even think about getting aboard this good old boat and getting our hands and heads down into the bilge and when it's 100 degrees outside. But we're continuing to battle the genies, the denizens of the deep, as it were, in this deep bilge. We've finally got it, I think, absolutely cleaned out to the maximum degree possible. What I've done today is use some bilge cleaner to clean the bilge out several times. So pour in a little bit of bilge cleaner, add some water, get in there with a scrub brush, scrub as well as I can, pump the water out, let it dry, put some more bilge cleaner in. Several evolutions of scrubbing the bilge and drying it out. And then finally using a wet dry vac to literally suck the last little bits of loose items, some washers, hose clamps, other bits and bobs that I couldn't get out with the my long grabby tool. And I think we've got it pretty much clean. Probably can do another couple of sessions with the bilge cleaner. But I've also discovered something that's very interesting. I don't know if it's a problem, maybe it's a problem. But I'm gonna have to show you that, and I'm really interested in getting feedback on how this problem, if it is a problem, might be addressed. So let's take a look down in the bilge. Yeah, so you can see the wet dry vac I've been using. At any rate, let's take a look down in the bilge and you'll see what I think you'll see what I'm talking about. Hopefully you'll see what I'm talking about. I don't know if there's enough light for you to see what I'm talking about. Let's see, let's get that down there. Okay, now, I'm wondering if you can see what looks like, I don't know, a layer of fiberglass or something that was laid on top, and it looks like there's some lead down there. Now most of the lead ballast is forward of this deep keel area, but it looks to me like that is lead at the bottom of the keel, and I can't tell if that cracked area there is pieces of lead or if it's the fiberglass. It doesn't look like fiberglass. Does not look like fiberglass. And I don't know if that's an issue or not. I mean, boat's built in 1984 and it's worked great. And I'm sure this has been like this for many, many years. Yeah. So what do you think? I mean, is that something that's a huge issue? Is it something that should be solved? I don't like the idea of having potentially pieces of whatever that is break free and be moving around in the bilge, right? Because that could block a bilge pump at some point in time. My thought is that a simple solution might be to mix up some thickened epoxy, not too thick, because I would need for it to run out and level out down there, because I can't really reach all the way to the bottom. I mean, ideally, I would get down in there, fill it with some thickened epoxy, smooth it out, and then lay some fiberglass on top of that. But I just don't think that's possible based on the location. So the next best solution in my mind is basically to mix up some thickened epoxy, get it really clean as possible down there, mix up some thickened epoxy, pour it out down there, tie a squeegee to a stick or something, and smooth it out as best as possible, let it cure. So basically we have a much smoother surface at the bottom of the keel sump. And then that way we prevent items that do fall in the bilge from getting underneath those pieces, or somehow those pieces breaking off and creating a problem. Really look forward to hearing your thoughts on that, because it could be very useful for me. In terms of upcoming work, so we get the bilge cleaned out, we solve this problem at the bottom of the bilge. We're gonna paint all the cockpit lockers underneath the engine, underneath the cockpit sole, up in the V-berth, basically the inside of the hull, everywhere. underneath the V-berth and up in the anchor locker. Pretty soon we're going to have the riggers come and pull the mast, and we'll start working on refurbing the mast as well. And then after that, it's, I guess, unbed all the deck hardware, remove all the deck hardware, so that we can start working on the deck. So that's where we're at. I know it's taken a long time to deal with this, cleaning out the areas that we want to paint and cleaning out the bilge, but we are steadily making progress, if not quickly making progress. So thanks for watching. Thanks so much for all of the input I'm sure you're going to provide regarding this most recent challenge. And stay tuned for future episodes. What I think I'll do with the channel, because I have so many questions about how I'm going to refit this boat. You know, every component of this boat raises a question, right? So, you know, autopilot. Do I want a below decks autopilot? Is the wheel pilot all right? Should I go with a hydro vane or a monitor wind vane, some sort of wind vane combined with the wheel pilot? Or do I want the hydro vane? Is that enough? Apparently you can take the hydro vane and you can buy a tiller pilot that can operate the hydro vane. I mean, that's just one example of many, many questions that I'm considering as I plan the refit, and getting your feedback is going to be tremendously useful. So stand by for future episodes that are really focused on those questions, like windlass, manual or electric, vertical or horizontal, anchors, what type of anchor, how much chain, how much rode. I could see an endless conversation going on, but I'm really working through all these questions in my head almost every day as I think about how to go forward with the boat. So thanks again. Stay tuned for future episodes. And don't forget, hold fast.